Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog, which again is going to be a short one. I'm going to try to make it a short one because again I have my point and shoot camera to record with today because my better camera is out for repairs. Hope to get it back soon. In the meantime, I don't want to burden everybody with sound that is not that great. Let's just say not very great sound. So I read the Asian press every day a little bit to see what's going on around the world. So I just want to very quickly just talk about a couple of stories I read today. One of them is something that's been in the news for a while. The other one, well, not at all. But I'll start with that one first, a short one, because it's really tragic. It's about these Yazidi mothers. You'll remember ISIS, when they had taken over all of Syria. They're just about gone now. We've defeated them. But when they were in power, when they had a hold on this area, they were kidnapping Yazidi women and they were raping them. And what happened was, well, as you would expect, some of these women, they bore children. I think one woman in the article has 3 children by an ISIS fighter. Now, the problem that she's running into, that these women are running into, is that they have these children, they've been freed from bondage, they can go back to their people, but the Yazidi community is refusing to take the children. The women can come back, but not the children, because the children are children of these Yazidi women and a Muslim father. They will not accept that because, well, for one thing, in the Muslim religion, which is the opposite actually of the Jewish religion. In my religion, if you have a child, the child has the religion of its mother. The logic being obviously that the child comes out of the mother physically when it's born, so the child has the mother's religion. In Islam, it's the exact opposite. The child has the religion of the father, so these children are Muslim children. And according to Islam, these children who grow up, these mixed Yazidi children with a Yazidi mother and a Muslim father, the males, when they marry a Yazidi female, those children will be Muslim because the father is considered Muslim. That's the real tragedy, that these women have to choose between going back to their community or not going back to their community and staying with their children. And one woman said that she's leaving her children behind and she hates to do it, but she wants to rejoin her people. They will not accept the children. It's really tragic. And that's one subject. Next subject is Hong Kong. I'm sure everybody knows about this, about the demonstrations in Hong Kong against the Chinese extradition treaty. Let me just briefly sum that up in case somebody's not completely up to speed on that. What this is about is Hong Kong, of course, belongs to China, but did not always belong to China because it technically belonged to China, but it was a British possession for all practical purposes because Britain had a 99-year lease with China that ran out sometime in the 1990s, and the British, they honored the terms of the lease and they gave Hong Kong back to China. The problem was that China, of course, is a totalitarian communist government and Hong Kong was a democracy. So there was some tension and problems there, and what resulted was an arrangement that the Chinese call one country, two systems, where most of China, almost all of China, is a totalitarian dictatorship, Chinese communist system, and Hong Kong is more democratic, but not completely democratic. The mayor, the leader of Hong Kong, in this case Carrie Lam, that's her name, is appointed by China. She's not elected, so that's one problem too. But the more recent problem is the passage of a so-called extradition law. What that law says is that I can't say it was passed and now it's been put on life support or it's dead, as Carrie Lam says, but it hasn't been officially repealed. What this law said was that whereas in the past somebody arrested for a crime in Hong Kong would be tried in Hong Kong in a Hong Kong court, that person would now be moved to China and tried in China. This engendered enormous street demonstrations. I'm sure everybody, or almost everybody, but I assume everybody's pretty fair estimation, has seen the demonstrations, the photos, and knows all about it. So that's what this demonstration is about on this headline that I'm showing you. There was just a big demonstration. Well, it's not really a demonstration, it's more a riot. They had to call in riot police to break it up. It was about this extradition treaty, which for all practical purposes is dead. Now, what's interesting is the original demonstration was weeks ago, and the law was rescinded, or however you want to term it, suspended, but Hong Kongers are still demonstrating against this law, and they are also demonstrating, I think, against the Hong Kong government. Carrie Lam, appointed by China. I think obviously Hong Kong wants to elect its leaders, but the point I'm getting at is the fact that this has gone on as long as it has. Could this be the start of something bigger? That's what the Chinese are afraid of. That, and as you see from this other headline, slowing economic growth in mainland China. The slowing Chinese growth is a problem because that is a primary foundation of Xi's power. That he, well, as somebody on television just termed it, the deal is China, you give up your human rights and your freedom, but in return you get economic growth. So if you don't have the economic growth, that's a threat to his leadership, to the Chinese system. And also Hong Kong now could be a threat if these demonstrations continue, because if they continue, China is going to have to take harsher and harsher and harsher methods to put it down. And they are deathly afraid, the Chinese are, that if they don't put it down, then these demonstrations are going to inspire similar demonstrations in China. There actually have been small demonstrations in China, in various parts of China, but nothing that you would call a movement. But they're afraid that that could change. I'm hoping that it does, and I'm wondering maybe this is the start of that change. And that's it. My two subjects for today. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry again about the sound. I'm waiting for my camera to come back. It should come back this week sometime, so hopefully we'll be back up to normal quality. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by. Thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Have any comments, put them in the comment section below. Also, you can put there suggestions for topics you'd like me to cover. If you have a Twitter feed, then feel free to tweet my URLs out to your followers and invite them to retweet and to follow the videos themselves. And finally, subscribe. If you subscribe, then you will know the instant that I post a new video. That's it. Thanks again for stopping by. See you again soon. Bye.